Broncos country, what is going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, evening, whenever you're watching this. I don't normally like to focus on the past, but guys, I got to admit, I could not pass this up, especially after seeing some of our other Broncos YouTubers in this community pop off with some of their opinions on this. I thought, you know what? I'll go ahead and get on here, share my 2 cents as well. And y'all be sure to smash that like and let me know your thoughts on this report that Russell Wilson couldn't learn the play calls from Sean Payton's offense this past year. Are you kidding me? So let's go get to it. I've linked some other videos talking about this in the description, including Broncos Syndicate. So y'all check him out and subscribe to him as well. But this is from Zach Seegers, my friend over at Let's Talk Broncos, coming out with a really great article. Y'all be sure to bookmark Let's Talk Broncos for your Broncos news. But hey, him commenting on this a little bit. This came out from CBS Sports. Aditi Kinkabwala, hopefully I pronounced her name correctly, in an interview she did on the Cleveland Sports Show. He struggled with the snap counts. He couldn't manage or handle the play calling. They went from putting a wristband on him to by the end of the season, all the play calls had to be 2 words, and everybody else was required to know what the play calls were. Shocking revelation. That's how Zach put it. If true, it means that Coach Payton was having to hold Wilson's hand more than one would expect. He would have to hold Bo Nix's. It would also help to explain the extreme limitations that the Broncos offense suffered from a season ago. We definitely saw that. Kinkabwala didn't leave it there, though, and her next statement might have been even more damning, although more vague. There is a very, 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 very valid reason that Sean Payton, who is one of the best quarterback coaches and best offensive minds in our game, who has had success not just with Drew Brees, but with Jameis Winston, with Teddy Bridgewater, is saying, I'm going to pay this guy millions upon millions of dollars to be nowhere near my locker room. And Zach signs off by saying it's clear the quarterback situation was pretty shaky these past 2 seasons and beyond. Hopefully, Knicks can right the ship. Absolutely. But this is, I got to be honest, like this is absolutely mind-blowing to hear. Somebody like Russell Wilson, who's been in the NFL for over a decade, somebody who's an NFL veteran, somebody who has won a Super Bowl, somebody who, I mean, has played in West Coast style offenses, right? Like out there in Seattle. And he was having trouble with these play calls. And guys, like sometimes I do wonder if is this part of the media war that has gone on between the Broncos and Russell Wilson, right? Because you saw Russell Wilson before he was cut come out with all this stuff. You know, do that interview with Brandon Marshall, and it's like, good Lord, dude, can you just move on? I mean, I'm not sure. Part of me doesn't want to buy that a 10 plus NFL vet quarterback can't get a play call in, can't memorize a playbook. And I know that these, especially this West Coast stuff, this Sean Payton stuff, these play calls are extremely long. You know, they're a couple sentences long sometimes, but that's to give everybody on the team their direction. It's crazy that that type of ownership was then put on the players to know what everybody's doing. Pretty mind-blowing if you ask me. And I don't understand, guys, what is the big deal about wearing a wristband, if I can talk correctly? What's the big deal about wearing one? I believe Tom Brady wore one during parts of his New England career. I think he wore one during parts of his time in Tampa Bay as well, right? Since when is it such a big deal if you have a wristband on, say this 10 times fast, on or not? Am I right? But anyways, this at the same time is no surprise whether you want to believe every single play call had to be totally 2 words. At the end of the day, it had to be stripped down. It had to be dumbed down. The playbook had to be condensed for this whole thing to work. And that doesn't surprise me from the simplified offense that I feel like we saw run last year. And hopefully Bo Nix, somebody who has been described as the supercomputer, as Cecil Lammey has put it, is able to grasp this playbook from the get-go. It also might mean why somebody like Jared Stidham might have, you know, the first advantage with starting week 1. Now, I do think Bo Nix, if you're listening to this, man, if you're not starting by like week 5, 6, 7, 8, having already 61 college starts. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. My hope is that, though, it happens week 1, week 2, depending on kind of how the schedule is. Bo Nix is going to be our starter for the majority of the year. That's how I read this, or see this whole situation right now between him, Zach Wilson, and Jarrett Stidham working out. But this is absolutely unbelievable and inexcusable when you have an office. I guess he didn't have the office with Sean Payton, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to be doing high knees on the airplane, if you're going to be posting about all your workouts and everything that you're doing, the games you're going to, know the plays. And that is, I think, one of the most shocking things out of this is that if you really had to dumb down this thing to 2-word play calls, I mean, that's like high school. That's like college, to some sense. It is absolutely shocking and inexcusable for a veteran quarterback getting paid over $100 million guaranteed to not know plays. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see. I mean, again, I don't want to totally, or I don't like to normally focus on the past, but some of this Russell Wilson stuff is going to be fun to keep up with. I got to be honest. So y'all hit that subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, go Broncos. Let's